Somebody get Tyler Perry on the phone and see if he will finance my law degree. Can somebody get 50 Cent? Where Curtis Jackson at? 50 Cent, can you finance my law degree? Why would you snatch a video game out of the hands of a boy who is 6'6", 270 pounds and diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder? Why did you snatch the game out of the boy's hand? I'm willing to bet you did it before. I'm willing to bet he threatened you before. I'm willing to bet you and this black boy have had an ongoing relationship problem that the classroom teacher never dealt with. You triggered that boy. I am not justifying the attack. I am not justifying the attack. I'm saying you intentionally provoked that young man.
And I know you want to clarify, you did not take his game away.
No, there was no device taken away. Not at all. It was the teacher that was threatening to not have it being utilized at school. I had nothing to do with it.
We are back for part 2. We are back for part 2. We are back for part 2. This is Dr. Umar Ifatunde, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, and I am doing a psycho-academic analysis of the young brother Brendan Depa, 17-year-old boy who's now 18, attacked his teacher's assistant after she snatched his Nintendo game out of his hand. He is facing a possible 30 years in prison. He was counseled by his white lawyer to accept a plea deal, even though the white lawyer did not have an agreement with the prosecution before he influenced this young black child who is mentally unstable to take a plea deal. I didn't ask you what time it is. If it's too late, get off my live and take your ass to bed. If it's too late, get off my live and take your ass to bed. If it's too late, I'm trying to save this young boy's life. I know you only care about yourself, but I'm trying to save this young boy's life. And I think we can do that. I think we can get him off of them 30 years, brothers and sisters. I think we can get him off this 30 years. But I don't want to see no disrespectful comments. We talking about an 18-year-old black boy who was raised by white foster parents, who was taken advantage of and used by everybody in his life. Okay? Nothing's funny right now. Nothing. I'm trying to save this young man's life. Let's continue. Let's continue. The lawyer also told Brendan, he also told his 18-year-old client that he should take a plea deal to avoid trial. The lawyer told Brendan he should take a plea deal in order to avoid trial. Can I ask you a question? Wouldn't you rather go to trial than take a plea deal? I believe there's enough evidence that would lead to an acquittal. Why would you tell? You know why? Because he's poor black boy and the lawyer don't feel like putting on a trial case. He's a poor black boy and the lawyer don't feel like putting on a trial case. He's a poor black boy and the lawyer doesn't feel like putting on a trial case. That's why he counseled him to take a plea deal. Okay? Now, the judge who will sentence him in January could sentence him to as little as probation or as much as 30 years. The judge could sentence him to as little as probation or as much as 30 years. I think we all know he's not getting probation, having put his hands on a white woman. I think we all know Brendan is not walking home with probation in January. Do we have enough common sense to know that, black people? Or do we still have the white Jesus savior complex? Do we have enough common sense to know Brendan ain't going home on probation? Or do some of y'all still have a white Jesus savior complex? Check this out. He was in a fight 1 month prior to attacking the teacher's aide. He was in a fight 1 month prior to attacking the teacher's aide. Let me ask the IEP team a question. The IEP team's job is to develop the program, decide on the placement, and monitor the progress of all special ed children. If he was in a fight 1 month before, and he had been arrested 3 times before, and he got 6 major diagnoses, including post-traumatic stress, intermittent explosive, and oppositional defiant, did y'all develop a positive behavior plan? Did y'all develop a functional behavioral assessment? I got a better question. Y'all ready for this question? Special ed parents, I hope you're listening to this. Special ed parents, I hope you're listening because it might be your son next. If this boy has a history of behavior problems, federal special ed law requires that he have a one-to-one aide, a functional behavioral assessment, and a positive behavior plan. I'm willing to bet that Brendan did not have a functional behavioral assessment. I'm willing to bet Brendan did not have a positive behavior plan, not an effective one, not a current one at least. And I'm also willing to bet he didn't have a one-to-one aide. Because if Brendan had a one-to-one aide, how could he follow the teacher outside the classroom? Where was his one-to-one aide? He is required by law to have a one-to-one aide. With the history of his behavior problems, he's supposed to have a one-to-one aide. Where was the one-to-one aide? He didn't have a one-to-one aide. You want to know why? And no disrespect to Ben Crump or Lee Merritt, but I would run circles around them when it comes to educational law. No disrespect to Lee Merritt or Ben Crump, but I will run circles around them when it comes to educational law. No disrespect to Lee Merritt or Ben Crump, but I will run circles around them when it comes to educational law. Somebody get Tyler Perry on the phone and see if he will finance my law degree. Can somebody get Tyler Perry on the phone and see if he will finance my law degree? Can somebody get 50 Cent? Where Curtis Jackson at? 50 Cent, can you finance my law degree? Beyonce, can you finance my educational law degree? Jay-Z, can you finance? Puffy, can you finance my Rihanna, can you finance my educational? Kanye, can you finance my educational? Magic Johnson, I heard you the newest billionaire. Can you finance my LeBron James? Can you finance my Oprah, can you finance my educational law? Bob Johnson, can you finance my educational law degree so I can travel the country fighting cases like this to keep our children from having their lives destroyed unjustifiably and unnecessarily? Who's going to finance my law degree, brothers and sisters? Who's going to finance my law degree, brothers and sisters? Who's going to finance my law degree, brothers and sisters? Tiger Woods, can you finance my law degree, good brother? Serena, can you finance my law degree, good sister? Let me get back to this. Let's continue. Listen to this. The teacher's aide confiscated the Nintendo device. She took it out of his hands. Can I ask y'all a question? Does the teacher's aide job description include snatching objects out of mentally disturbed students' hands? What do y'all think about that? Do you think the job description for the teacher's aide includes snatching devices out of children's hands? What do you think, brothers and sisters? What do you think? Do you think that was part of her job description? Or did she do it because she was a privileged snow bunny who didn't feel she had to respect this black boy? Because after all, he got white foster parents who don't care about him. He's in a school with only 10% black students. I don't have to respect this black boy. He didn't put the game away. I snatched it out of his hand. In other words, I triggered him. Why would you snatch a video game out of the hands of a boy who is 6'6", 270 pounds, and diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and intermittent explosive disorder? Why did you snatch the game out of the boy's hand? And I'm willing to bet it's not the first time you did it. I'm willing to bet you did it before. I'm willing to bet he threatened you before. I'm willing to bet you and this black boy have had an ongoing relationship problem that the classroom teacher never dealt with. He got sick and tired of being disrespected. He got sick and tired of being treated like a baby. He was sick and tired of being ignored, targeted, criminalized. You triggered that boy. I am not justifying the attack. I am not justifying the attack. I'm saying you intentionally provoked that young man. You intentionally provoked that young man. You snatched his game. You ran out the class. He ran after you. He decided in his emotionally underdeveloped mind, he decided he wasn't taking this shit no more. Furthermore, Your Honor, I would like to request permission of the court. Furthermore, Your Honor, I would like to request permission of the court. Furthermore, Your Honor, I would like to request permission of the court to interview every student. I want to subpoena every student in that classroom. I want to privately interview every student in that classroom to get their perspective on what happened February 21st inside of the Matanzas High School on the day Malcolm X died. I want to talk to the students because I got a funny feeling that when I talk to his classmates, they're going to give me a different story. See, the media has painted a narrative. The media has painted a narrative. The media has painted a narrative to make the Snow Bunny look like a complete victim and to make Brendan look like a complete predator. Y'all know how the newspapers do when it come to white women. Y'all know how the newspapers do when it come to white women. They wrote this story up to make the white woman look like she's an innocent victim, and they wrote the story up to make Brendan look like he's a complete savage. Can I interview the students in that school? I want to interview the students in his class. I bet you they're going to tell me she triggered him. I bet you they're going to tell me she was picking on him. I bet you they're going to tell me that she was disrespecting that boy and treating him less than a human. He got tired of being the slave on the plantation. He got tired of being the slave on the plantation. I'm not justifying the attack. I'm giving the reason for the attack. She participated in the provocation that led to her unfortunate attack. Let's continue. Oh, listen to this. According to the media, this is not me. According to the media, the teacher's aide personally confiscated the Nintendo device. But on the GoFundMe page, somebody put up a GoFundMe page for the teacher's aide that has raised over $100,000. She has a GoFundMe page that has raised more than $100,000. And on the GoFundMe page, she denies ever taking the video game from that boy. Uh-oh. We got a problem, Houston. Did y'all hear what I just said? So I have a question for the teacher's aide. And I know you're recovering right now. I don't want to add no stress to you, young lady. I know you were 57 years old. You were 57 years old when you were attacked. You were not young. I hope all is going to be fine with you. I hope you recover just fine. Because you were a victim, but so was Brendan. But I want to ask you a question, Miss Teacher's Assistant. Why did your GoFundMe say you never took the Nintendo out of his hand? I'm asking you an honest question. Why did your GoFundMe say you never took the video game out of his hand? If you have nothing to hide, if you were a complete innocent party in this situation, why did your GoFundMe say you did not take the video out of his hand when you actually did? Why did y'all lie to your donors on GoFundMe? Why did y'all lie to the donors on GoFundMe? Is that an honest question? Did the lawyer bother to bring that up to the judge? That the teacher's assistant who was attacked by this boy lied on GoFundMe and said she never took the video game out of his hand? Why was that not brought up in court? And if she's lying about that, what else is she lying about? If she's lying about taking a video game, what else is she lying about? What else happened in that classroom before she snatched the video game and ran out the classroom? And I want to go further. I want to go further. Why haven't we seen footage of what happened in the classroom? Why did the media only show us footage of Brendan chasing her and tackling her and unfortunately attacking her? Where is the footage of her taking the video game? Why can't we see how she approached him? Why can't we see the interaction between my client and the teacher's assistant? Why is it okay for us to see him abuse her, but we can't see her abuse him? Why is it okay for us to see him abuse her, but it's not okay for us to see her abuse him? The GoFundMe said, quote, she never took or even mentioned the Nintendo Switch being taken away from the student. Did y'all hear that? The GoFundMe said she never took or even mentioned the Nintendo being taken away. That is a blatant lie. Not only did you mention it, you took it. Why did you lie on GoFundMe? You were 40 years older than that boy. He was 17, you are 57. He was 17, you are 57. Why would a 57-year-old white woman snatch a video game from a disabled child's hand who is 6 foot 6 inches tall, 270 pounds, because you thought your snow bunny privilege? You thought your snow bunny privilege. You thought your white superiority complex was going to protect you. You triggered that boy. He's emotionally underdeveloped, according to his therapist. According to Brendan's therapist, emotionally, he is not more than 8 to 10 years old. According to his therapist, emotionally, he is not more than 8 to 10 years old. According to his therapist, he is emotionally not more than 8 to 10 years old. Listen to this. Brendan was staying at a group home in Palm Coast, Florida called ECHO, East Coast Habilitation Options. ECHO, East Coast Habilitation Options. The website describes them as a home agency for behaviorally, intellectually challenged children and young adults. The help wanted ad for ECHO says they help children, teens, and adults with autism, intellectual disability, and behavior challenges. Autism, intellectual disabilities, and behavior challenges. Why didn't the school put Brendan in a private school for children with disabilities? The principal of Matanzas got some explaining to do. The special ed director for this school district got some explaining to do. Did you know Florida was #1 for charging black children as adults? Did you know Florida is also #1 for suspending black children out of school? Let me say that again. Florida is #1 for charging black children as adults in America. Florida is #1 suspending black children out of school. Black students in Flagler School District are 39% of all children suspended multiple times, but they are only 16% of the district. Did y'all hear what I just said? Black children in Flagler schools are only 16% of the children, but they are 49% of children who are suspended from school multiple times. Also in the Flagler School District, there are 52 white males in the AP or mentally gifted program. 52 white males in the AP or mentally gifted program. Guess how many black boys in the entire Flagler School District is in a mentally gifted or advanced placement class? Guess. Who wants to take a guess? 52 white boys are in mentally gifted or advanced placement. Guess how many black boys in the entire school district of Flagler are in mentally gifted or advanced placement? One. There's only one black boy in the entire school district. There's only one black boy in the entire school district who is in a gifted or advanced placement class. Did y'all know that the Southern Poverty Law Center is suing Flagler, one of 5 school districts they're suing, for discriminating against black children? Look at that. Did the lawyer bring this up in the court? Did the lawyer tell the judge that the Southern Poverty Law Center is suing Flagler schools for discrimination against black children? I bet you he didn't. Listen to this. Florida schools have an average of 13% black teachers. Florida schools have an average of 13% black teachers. Flagler schools have only 6.5% black teachers. Flagler School District has only half the state average for black teachers. Florida only has 13% black teachers. Flagler schools only has 6.5% black teachers. Not only that, Flagler Schools is still under a court jurisdiction order, the United States Department of Justice school desegregation order. You know why? Because Flagler has a history of practicing separate but equal. Flagler schools have a history of keeping black kids out, kicking black kids out, and over suspending black kids. And this is the school district that's going to let this boy get sentenced to 30 years in prison because y'all didn't provide him with the services and evaluations and supplemental programs that he needed? I love Sister Tamron Hall, but she too bougie to bring me on her show. I love Sister Tamron Hall, but she too bougie to bring me on her show. I love Sister Tamron Hall, but she too bougie to bring me on her show. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's read the requirements to be a teacher's aide in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, in order to be a teacher's aide, you need an associate's degree, 2 years of college, and the capacity to assist the teacher with teaching reading, writing, and math. Only 3 requirements to be a teacher's aide in Florida: associate's degree, 2 years of college, and the capacity to assist the classroom teacher with reading, writing, and math. I don't even think this teacher's aide was qualified. I don't even think this teacher's aide was qualified. I don't even think this teacher's aide was qualified enough to be in the classroom with Brendan. He needed a trained behavior specialist, not a teacher's aide. Brendan needed a one-on-one or a trained behavior specialist, not a teacher's aide. Now let's look at the responsibilities of a teacher's aide in the state of Florida. Let's look at the responsibilities of a teacher's aide in the state of Florida. Prepare lesson plans and activities. Help the teacher set up. Prepare lesson plans and activities. Help the teacher set up for lessons. Monitor student progress in programs. I'm going to say it again. Set up materials. Help the teacher prepare for lessons and activities. And monitor student progress in activity. Does it say snatch things out of a child's hand? Does it say act like you're the disciplinarian? Does it say try to control black boy behavior? That's not on the job description. So if the job description for the teacher aide doesn't say control black boy behavior, snatch things out of children's hands, if that's not a part of her job description, what was she doing snatching the Nintendo out that boy's hand? Did he have a functional behavioral assessment? Did he have a positive behavior plan? I got a few more. I'm going to read a statement from the white foster parent in a moment. We're going to be done at 1 o'clock, y'all. We will be done in 30 minutes, 1 o'clock. I'm going to read the foster mother's statement because y'all need to hear it. Brendan's therapist said he has the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6-year-old. The emotional maturity of a 4 to 6-year-old. The foster mom said he was on antipsychotic meds since 2018. He was on antipsychotic meds since 2018. Do you know what psychotic meds does to your mind? Did you know that the antipsychotics can cause emotional and behavioral dysfunction? Did you know antipsychotic meds can cause emotional and behavioral dysfunction? Did the lawyer mention this in court? Did the lawyer do his research on the side effects of antipsychotic meds? They can make the post-traumatic stress disorder worse. They can make the intermittent explosive disorder worse. They can make the anxiety, the oppositional defiant disorder, the autism. Remember, he's also autistic, brothers and sisters. We cannot let them lynch this young man. In the name of our ancestors, we cannot let them lynch this young man. In the name of our ancestors, we cannot let them lynch this young man. And guess what? Y'all ready for this? His foster mother said, listen, I'm going to read her whole statement in a minute. We got 25 minutes to finish. Stay with me, y'all. Are y'all with me? If y'all want me to stop, I'll stop. If y'all want me to keep going, brothers, I need some fists. Sisters, I need some hearts. Are y'all with me, or do y'all want me to stop? Because I'm going to the court hearing. Do y'all care enough about this boy to hang on another 30 minutes? We ain't talking about the past. We talking about the present. Are y'all with me, family? Are y'all with me, family? Okay. His foster mother said that he has a history of being bullied by white students with racial slurs. His foster mother said he has a history of being bullied by white students with racial slurs. Do y'all see where this is going? Do y'all see where this is going? I'm going to say it again. His white foster mom says he has a history of being bullied by white students with racial slurs. Are y'all following me? Do y'all see where the post-traumatic stress kicked in when that white woman snatched his video game? Do y'all see how being bullied, being called the N-word by white students most of his life, and then being targeted and triggered by that teacher's aide who had no business snatching the video game out of his hand? Do y'all see how this could lead to the accident that happened? Foster mom did nothing. Foster dad did nothing. Foster mom ain't doing nothing to save this boy. Foster dad isn't doing anything to save this boy. And listen to this. Listen to this. The foster mother also said that a group of white kids tried to trick him into drinking their urine. Foster mom said a group of white children tried to trick him into drinking their urine. A group of children tried to trick this mentally unhealthy young man into drinking their urine. Brothers and sisters, who think he should go to jail for 30 years? Who think this innocent black boy who was exploited, abused, and left for dead, who think he should go to jail for 30 years? Who thinks he should go to jail at all? Who thinks he should be tried as an adult? I'm about to blow your mind with what I'm about to say next. I know some of y'all saying, is this really happening in America right now? Yes. He's in prison right now. He can't go home because he don't have $1 million bail. His foster parents are not even trying to raise $1 million bail. You know what? Do we need to raise the money? Wait a minute now. When you got to post $1 million bail, what you got to pay? 10%, 20%? How much of the bail do you have to pay, brothers and sisters? Help me out. My brothers who've been to prison, help me out. He has $1 million bail. How much has to be paid for him to get out of jail? He don't have to pay the whole million, right? Is it 10%, 20%? It's not over, brother. I'm not giving up on this child. How much of the million do we have to pay for him to get out of jail? 100 grand? We talking Florida, not Texas. What do you got to pay in Florida? What do you have to pay in Florida? What percentage of the bail in Florida? Can somebody Google that, please? What percentage of the bail in Florida of the $1 million? How much we got to pay to get him out? 10%. We can raise 100 grand. I think we can do it. Y'all want to get him out? I need my Florida. If you in Florida and you want to help do a fundraiser with Dr. Umar, I don't want no money. I don't want a penny. You understand me? This money is going to get our brother out of prison. Okay? If anybody wants to help me with this, text my phone. I'm dead serious. Don't play with me. If you're not serious, don't bother me, because all y'all want to do is sit on YouTube and watch videos all damn day. Y'all don't want to get out in the streets and do no real work. I think we can raise that money. Somebody get Kodak Black and Rick Ross on the phone. Can we get a donation to start it off from Kodak Black and Rick Ross? Can we get a donation from Kodak Black and Rick Ross? Who else is in Florida? Can we get a donation from Kodak Black, Rick Ross? I'm going to call on my sister Suki Hana for a donation. I'm going to call on my sister Suki Hana for a donation. Who else is in Florida, y'all? Who else live in Florida? Uncle Luke. Can we get a donation from Uncle Luke? Can we get a donation from Flo Rida? Flo Rida. Can we get a donation from Flo Rida? Who else is in Florida? Trick Daddy. Can we get a donation from Trick Daddy? Who else is in Little Duval? DJ Khaled. You already owe us for expropriating the culture anyway. DJ Khaled, you overdue for a donation. A bondsman puts up the full amount of a person's bail. 10% fee. OJ, you know OJ Simpson ain't making no donation. He's still bunny hopping. He ain't learned. City Girls, can we get a donation? Let's refocus. Let me hit y'all with this fact right now. Let me hit y'all with this fact. Dwayne Wade, can we get a donation? Gabrielle Union, can we get a donation? Jimmy Butler, can we get a donation? Who the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins? Can we get a donation? Who with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Can we get a donation? Deion Sanders is from Florida. Deion, can we get a donation, my brother? You got a couple endorsements. Can we get a donation from Deion Sanders? Shador, young brother Shador, you got a nice watch deal. Can we get a donation? But let me stay focused. Let me stay focused. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. Listen to what I'm about to say. According to the media, the white foster parents and the white lawyer, allegedly, according to the media, the white parents and the white attorney, according to the media, tried to get the judge to certify Brendan as mentally incompetent to stand trial. Mentally incompetent to stand trial. Mentally incompetent to stand trial. And the judge threw it out. Now, let's go to mental health law. Let's go to I'm going to say it again. Stay with me, y'all. I need y'all to, this is the case breaker right here. This is we about to break, we already broke it. We going to break it wide open right now. And I don't know why his lawyer didn't present everything I'm presenting to the judge at the court hearing. I do not understand why this 17-year-old boy's white lawyer did not present all of the information I'm presenting tonight to the judge at the court. Listen, Why did they try to get him certified as mentally incompetent to stand trial? You know why? You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Y'all ready? Because the one thing nobody has brought up in this case, none of the newspapers, no, not his foster parents, the one thing that they are leaving out that I'm bringing up right now as a certified school psychologist, the one thing they leaving out that I'm bringing up right now as a doctor of clinical psychology, the one thing they leaving out that I'm bringing up right now, brothers and sisters, I believe Brother Brendan is intellectually disabled. I believe he has an IQ score below 70. Why is that relevant? If Brother Brendan is intellectually disabled, formerly called mentally retarded, if he is intellectually disabled, he is not competent to stand trial. And I want to know why the lawyer didn't demand that the judge order a psychological evaluation to determine this young man's intellectual functioning, his cognitive intelligence, and an evaluation to determine if he was psychologically fit to stand trial, brothers and sisters. Did y'all hear that? The judge was supposed to order a court-ordered psychological evaluation. A court-ordered psychological evaluation. A court-ordered psychological evaluation to determine if he is intellectually disabled and therefore mentally incompetent to stand trial. Why didn't the lawyer fight for that? Why didn't the foster parents fight for that? Why did the racist judge throw it out? Where is the evaluation? The judge can't do that. The judge can't do that. We have more than enough reason to suspect he might be intellectually disabled. So where is the court-ordered evaluation to confirm that this young man may be intellectually disabled? Are we going to let them lynch our son? I'm sorry for what happened to that teacher's aide. But she should be pointing the finger at the school district. She should be pointing the finger at the superintendent. She should be pointing the finger at the principal. She should be pointing the finger at the IEP team. She is a victim, but Brendan is a victim. And I know she getting paid from the school district. She got a GoFundMe and she getting money from the school district. She got a GoFundMe and she getting money from the school district. That doesn't take away the trauma of being attacked. I understand. My point is her life will go on and he's going to jail for 30 years. Her life will go on and he's going to jail for 30 years when he is the complete victim in this entire case. Now, I have a few questions and then I'm going to read the foster parent statement and I'm done for the night. Once you hear the foster parent statement, y'all going to pass out. So if you got a bad heart, please have a seat. Please have a seat. If you got hypertension, I'm going to need you to sit down when I read the statement from the Snow Bunny foster mom. You want to be sitting down when you hear what I'm about to read. I need y'all to have a seat. I need y'all to have a seat. Okay? Couple questions I got before I read the foster mom statement. Why did he have the game? What were the conditions under which he was allowed to play the game? When was the last time he had a psychological evaluation? When is the last time he had an IEP meeting? Why was he allowed to come into the school instead of being sent to a private school for children with disabilities? Why didn't he have a behavior specialist? Why didn't he have a one-to-one aide? Why was this teacher's aide allowed to snatch the game from him? Why can't we see the footage of the classroom of her snatching the game? Did they have a history of antagonistic relations? Why did the lawyer advise him to plead guilty? Why did the teacher's aide lie on GoFundMe and say she never took the game? Why did the teacher's aide lie on GoFundMe and say she never took the game? Why did the teacher's aide lie on GoFundMe and say she never took the game? Why did the judge throw out the mental incompetence defense without ordering a psychological evaluation? Why did the judge throw out the mental incompetence defense without ordering a psychological evaluation? You cannot do that. That is illegal. I know that because I'm a psychologist. You cannot throw out a mental incompetence defense unless you order a psychological evaluation to prove that the boy is cognitively within the normal range. That boy is intellectually disabled, not just PTSD. He is intellectually disabled. He's not just autistic. He is intellectually disabled. He's not just anxiety. He's intellectually disabled, not just intermittent explosive disorder. And the only reason why the school took him in, they wanted that money and they didn't want to pay for him to get the services he needed. And his foster parents did not advocate for him. His white foster parents did not advocate for him. They were living off of that boy's foster check. I'm going to say it again. His white foster parents did not advocate for him. They were living off of his foster check. And if he wasn't properly diagnosed as intellectually disabled, the school has a lawsuit. If that boy was misdiagnosed or not fully diagnosed, that's a lawsuit against that school district. Is the teacher's aide being paid a settlement from the school? And I want to interview all his classmates. I want to interview all his classmates to get their side of the story because we never saw the footage inside the classroom. We never saw the footage inside the classroom. We never saw the footage inside the classroom. Oh, this is the same district that just got in trouble for transferring $700,000 to a bogus bank account. Did y'all hear me? This school district, flagrant, what's the name of this district again? Palm Coast, Florida. What's the name of this district again? Palm Coast. What's the name of that school district again? What is it? Flagrants. Mantazes, what's the district name? I done forgot the district name already. But this is the same district that just got in trouble for transferring $700,000 to a fake bank account. Did y'all hear that? This district, the same one that called the kids to the auditorium in elementary school and told them they're going to go to jail or go to cemetery if they don't score high. But if you score high, we're going to have a chicken party. Oh, and did y'all also know Flagler, thank you. Flagler School District is currently being sued by 2 black teachers. Flagler School District is currently being sued by 2 black teachers. Flagler School District is being sued by 2 black teachers for discrimination, being denied promotions because they were black. 2 teachers are currently suing the Flagler School District, black teachers, for being denied promotion because they're black. White supremacy. White supremacy. White supremacy. Are y'all ready to hear the foster mother statement? Who ready for the foster mother statement? And we're going to get out of here by 1 o'clock. Let me pull it up. Foster mother statement to the media. This is going to blow your mind. Listen to this. Let me find it. Let me find it. Bookmarks. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Y'all ready? You can read the whole thing on flaglerlive.com. Flagler Live. This was June 26, 2023. Brendan Depa's mother tells her son's story. And look, she hugged up with him. She loved him so much. She loved her foster son so much, but she never did nothing to get him the help he needed. She loved her foster son so much, she never did nothing to make the schools do right by him. She loved her foster son so much, she didn't even make the judge order a psychological evaluation. She loved her foster son so much, she let her lawyer talk him into taking a plea deal. Here we go. Here we go. He being held in Jacksonville, y'all. He's being held in Jacksonville. Solitary confinement. Depa's family has not addressed the matter until now. Leanne Depa, Brenda's foster mother, speaking on behalf of her son, her husband of 25 years, and the rest of their family, is now breaking their silence. They didn't say nothing from February the 21st until June the 26th. You love this boy so much, but you didn't say a word in his defense from February the 21st until June the 26th. You love this black boy so much, you didn't say nothing to protect or defend him from February the 21st until June the 26th. Now let me read. Let me read. Let me read. It saddens us when things in our schools don't always go right or as planned. Our family is filled with concern for Miss Joanne Naditch, the teacher's aide, and we continue to pray for her swift recovery. Our whole family was horrified by what she endured. Nobody deserves this. We are sincerely sorry for our son's actions. We support the needs of students, educators, and staff to feel secure in their school environment. Sharing Brendan's story, we aim to shed light on who he is to us and how a system has let us all down. How a system has let us all down. How a system has let us all down, resulting in the tragic incident on February the 21st. Brendan, who is now 17 years old, joined our family through foster care when he was just an infant. As a baby, Brendan was quite fussy and he struggled in the school setting from the age of 2. Despite our attempts to enroll him in daycare and public school, the busy and noisy environments proved too overwhelming for him, leading to environmentally induced meltdowns. He was easily upset by flies, stickers, and discarded bandages. He was terrified of things other children enjoyed. However, we found that Brendan thrived in smaller and more structured environments, which is why we chose to homeschool him for the most part. How long did y'all homeschool him without giving him the proper help? How long did y'all homeschool him without giving him the proper help? To ensure that Brendan had opportunities for socialization, we enrolled him in co-op class and introduced him to other homeschoolers. You mean to tell me they kept this boy with all these diagnoses in a White House? What grade did he start going to regular school? We got a problem, brothers and sisters. Don't let me find out they kept this boy locked up. They kept this boy locked up in their house. Lord have mercy. I don't believe this. Brothers and sisters, doesn't this sound like it's made up? Doesn't this sound like it's made up? They kept the boy. How do you keep a post-traumatic stress, autism, ODD, ADHD, anxiety, intellectually disabled kid locked up in your house, homeschool? Y'all never... I wonder, what is his reading skill? What is Brendan's reading level? What is Brendan's math level? What is Brendan's comprehension level? What is Brendan's writing level? I bet you that boy isn't even functional. You know why he had the video game? Do y'all want to know why he had the video game? Brendan had the video game because they let him play video all day in school because they don't teach him anything. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again, brothers and sisters. I think we just figured this case out. I think we just figured this case out. His foster parents kept him home all them years, finally turned him over to school when he started growing 6'6" because they said he had a growth spurt. He wasn't always 6'6". He had a late growth spurt. So they kept him home. When he got big, they turned him over into the school. He couldn't read, couldn't write, couldn't count because his white foster parents never taught him. So they put him in a life skills class. A life skills class where they don't teach you nothing. They let him play on the video game to kill time. The teacher aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. The teacher's aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. The teacher's aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. She snatched the game, triggered him, and he whipped her behind. Everybody's guilty except Brendan. Everybody is guilty except Brendan. Everybody is a criminal except Brendan. I need y'all to call Tyler Perry. I need y'all to call Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, Magic, LeBron, Puffy, Bob Johnson, Kanye, Tiger, Serena, and tell them Dr. Umar needs 60 grand to go to law school so he can go around the country and fight for our children who are getting charged on school to prison pipeline. This is the school to prison pipeline right here. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. This is the school. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Will Smith, can I get 60K? Let's finish the letter, y'all. Let's finish the letter. We chose to homeschool him for the most part. To ensure that Brendan had opportunities for socialization, we enrolled him in co-op class and introduced him to other homeschoolers. We also went camping frequently with other homeschool families and friends, which he loved, all white kids. Did y'all ever bring him around any black kids? Is this another Colin Kaepernick situation? Is this another Colin Kaepernick? Is this another Colin Kaepernick where the foster parents don't understand that the black boy needs to be around some black people because it doesn't seem like he was ever around any black people? Let me continue. Brendan loved to read and frequently studied the dictionary. Really? Did y'all even have a dictionary? Did y'all even make him read? Did y'all even teach him how to read? Brendan loved to read and frequently studied the dictionary. He astounded others with his vocabulary, while at the same time he had difficulty applying his knowledge to real-life situations as he is a level 3, the most severe on the autism scale. He's a level 3, the most severe on the autism scale, but you never put him in autistic school. You never took him to an autistic school. You locked him in the house. Brendan loves most people. He is a big hugger, hugging everyone he meets. He even hugs strangers like the pizza delivery guy. Once when we were at Walmart, he was so excited by something his white grandmother was buying him that he lifted her up off the ground and swung her around. That made quite the picture. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or be worried about what the image looked like to other shoppers. Why are you worrying about what white folks think about your black son? If your black son is hugging his white foster grandmom, why do you care what the other white people in Walmart are thinking? You know why? Because you're white and you're racist. And that's why you didn't do nothing to save him, because white people want him to go to jail. And since white people want him to go to jail, even though you claim to love him, even though you're the foster mom, you want him to go to jail too. Because at the end of the day, all white people stick together. Let's continue the letter. Let's continue the letter. While Brendan loves people, he has difficulty with friendships because he is fixated on only what interests him. He struggles with being reciprocal, which affects the way people view him, but he has a big heart. As much as he loves food, he always asks to give his food to another homeless person we pass. If we were in a shopping center, he would ask to buy something and then would walk over and give his food to the homeless people. During this time, before the spring of 2017, Brendan was managing in the community by receiving the support he needed through therapy and constant supervision while under the care of specialists. While under the care of specialists. While under the care, if he was under the care of specialists, how the hell we end up in this situation? If he was under the care of specialists, who advised you to keep him at home? What specialist advised you to keep him at home? Brendan was diagnosed with autism, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, mood dysregulation disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and anxiety. From a young age, Brendan has struggled with hypersensitivity to sound and texture, poor frustration tolerance, poor emotional regulation, rigidity in his thought process, frequent demonstration of magical thinking, causing difficulty with focusing. Often it seemed like he viewed characters in his video games as real people. For example, when he had severe fears of a mural at Tijuana Flats, a restaurant that I love, the mural advertised the restaurant's very hot sauce by showing a boy standing in a fire, looking over his shoulder with tears running down his face. It terrified Brendan, who thought it represented hell. He was similarly terrified of our museum's Disasterville. He wouldn't get near it or near a shark statue. It was as if everything came to life for Brendan. He thought throwing toilet paper at a police officer would make her go away. Even now, Brendan's therapist reports that he has the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6 year old. If he got the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6 year old, where is he intellectually? If he has the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6 year old, where is he intellectually? If he has the emotional immaturity of a 4 to 6 year old, where is he intellectually? Why is nobody discussing intellectual disability? Why is nobody discussing intellectual disability? You know why nobody's discussing intellectual disability? Because they know if he gets tested, he gets off. If he gets tested, he gets off. If he gets tested through a court-ordered evaluation, they're going to prove he's intellectually incompetent to stand trial, and the charges will sooner or later be dropped. He has no business going to jail. Let's continue. Brendan was first prescribed antipsychotic meds in 2018 to control his heightened aggression during a time that our family was going through tremendous stress. At that time, multiple close family members were experiencing life-threatening conditions, including his grandmother, pictured above, who had pancreatic cancer. Another family member required an emergency craniotomy. So, if the family was going through all this stress, why did y'all decide to stick him in school when the family was going through all this stress? If you was homeschooling a boy, why not homeschool him through the family crisis? Why did y'all send him back to school when he was going through the family crisis? Let's continue. Unfortunately, the medication did little to improve his condition and had onerous side effects. He gained over 100 pounds in 1 year. I'm going to stop. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all hear what his foster mother just said? Did y'all hear what he just... Did y'all hear... I'm going to read it again. Y'all didn't hear me. I'm going to say this again. Unfortunately, the medications did little to improve Brendan's condition and had onerous side effects. He gained over 100 pounds in a year. If your son is starting to gain weight, why didn't you take him back to the psychiatrist and say he can't take these drugs? You need to find something else. You let him gain 100 pounds and you didn't say nothing? You let him gain 100 pounds and you didn't say nothing?